Raghav Sharma always sat on the last bench. Not because he wanted to, but because that's where everyone expected him to be. He wasn't the smartest kid in school, nor was he athletic or particularly social. The teachers often ignored him, and classmates teased him. His books were tattered, his grades below average, and his confidence almost non-existent. His father, a humble tailor in a small town in India, could barely afford school fees. But he always said, "One day, you will stitch your own fate, Raghav." Those words echoed in Raghav's ears every night as he stared at the cracked ceiling of their tiny one-room house. While everyone ignored him, Raghav noticed everything. He watched how teachers explained concepts, how toppers answered questions, how others managed their time. He didn't talk much, but his mind absorbed silently like a sponge. The fire inside him was small, but it was burning. He just didn't know how to fuel it yet. One day, his science teacher announced a state-level science fair. Most students ignored it. But something inside Raghav whispered, "Try it." With no computer, no internet, and barely any materials, he went to the local library and began reading about clean energy. He decided to create a model of a wind turbine using scrap materials. He worked late into the night, hiding from his father who thought he was wasting time. He used bicycle parts, discarded motors, and plastic bottles. When he presented his model at school, everyone laughed. Until it worked. The judges were stunned. He won second place. That one win changed everything. The principal shook his hand. His classmates looked at him with curiosity instead of mockery. Most importantly, Raghav smiled, not just with his lips, but with his soul. For the first time, he felt worthy. He went home, placed the certificate on the wall, and whispered to his mother's photo, "I did it, Ma." The news of his victory reached a local college professor, Dr. Neha Kapoor, who visited his school. She offered to mentor Raghav. Every Sunday, she taught him science and life skills. She didn't give him answers, she taught him how to ask better questions. She told him, "Your background doesn't define your future. Your decisions do." Over the next few years, Raghav transformed. He studied hard, helped his father in the evenings, and saved every rupee he could. When his father fell sick, Raghav stitched clothes at night to cover hospital bills. There were days he slept just 3 hours. But he never stopped studying. He passed his board exams with flying colors. The same boy who was once mocked for being the last bencher became the district topper. Raghav got admission to a reputed engineering college in Delhi. Life in the city was tough. He lived in a shared room, skipped meals to afford books, and took up part-time jobs as a delivery boy, tutor, and even a janitor. People again looked down on him. But he was used to that. This time, he didn't just observe, he acted. He joined robotics clubs, participated in hackathons, and slowly made a name for himself. In his second year, he failed an important subject. It broke him. He cried, thought of quitting, and doubted his path. But then he remembered his mother's dream, his father's hands, and Dr. Neha's faith. He picked himself up and tried again. He cleared the subject with distinction in the next semester. Raghav learned that failure wasn't the opposite of success. It was part of the journey. In his final year, he and a few friends developed a low-cost solar-powered irrigation system for farmers. Their innovation won awards and media attention. Investors showed interest. But his friends backed out. They wanted stable jobs. Raghav stood alone. He chose risk over comfort. He started a company with zero funds, a loan he could barely repay, and only one asset, his will. It wasn't easy. There were days with no sales, no money, and no hope. But Raghav kept going. Slowly, small farmers began adopting his technology. Word spread. Awards followed. Grants came in. Within 5 years, Raghav's startup had impacted over 50,000 farmers across India. He became a TED speaker. Forbes listed him in 30 under 30. Newspapers called him the boy who harnessed the sun. One day, Raghav returned to his school as chief guest. The same last bench he once sat on now had a plaque with his name. He looked at the students and said, "Success isn't about where you start. It's about how far you're willing to go without giving up." When Raghav finally bought a new house, he brought his father to the terrace and showed him the sunrise. "This is your stitch, Baba," he said. His father, with tears in his eyes, replied, "No beta, this is your destiny, stitched by your hands, thread by thread."